Lily was not your average 12-year-old. While most girls her age were busy playing with dolls or riding bikes, she found herself in the company of someone much older. Mr. Thompson, a charming man in his late 50s, had become a significant part of her life. Their bond was something unexpected and unique, one that many would find difficult to understand. Mr. Thompson had entered Lily's life when she was feeling lost and alone. She had always been a bit different from her peers. More mature, more curious about the world around her, and often misunderstood. One day, while sitting in the local park, feeling dejected because none of her friends had time to play, she met him. He was sitting on a bench, reading a book and sipping coffee. His warm smile drew her in like a moth to a flame. "Hi there," he said with a friendly wave, noticing her sit nearby. "What's got you looking so serious?" With a shy smile, Lily shared her feelings about being left out. To her surprise, Mr. Thompson listened intently, offering wise advice that felt comforting. He spoke about the importance of being true to oneself and finding joy in little things. That day marked the beginning of their unusual relationship. At first glance, one might question why a girl like Lily would spend time with a man like Mr. Thompson. The age difference was vast, nearly 4 decades, and their friendship raised eyebrows among those who noticed. However, what they shared was genuine companionship built on mutual respect and understanding. Mr. Thompson admired Lily's creativity and zest for life, while she cherished his wisdom and the stories he told. They spent countless afternoons together exploring art galleries, visiting museums, and having deep conversations over ice cream cones. He encouraged her love for painting, even going so far as to buy her supplies for her budding hobby. Lily often created vibrant pieces, inspired by their adventures, each canvas telling a story of their time together. Their bond was unconventional but filled with laughter and shared experiences that made Lily feel special. She didn't feel judged by him. Instead, Mr. Thompson celebrated her quirks and encouraged her dreams. Unlike others in her life who tended to overlook her thoughts and feelings, he always took time to listen as if every word mattered. But their friendship wasn't without its challenges. When news of their relationship spread around town, many people were quick to judge. Some whispered behind closed doors about the appropriateness of their friendship, casting shadows over what was real between them. Lily felt hurt when she overheard comments questioning Mr. Thompson's intentions or labeling him as just another old man trying to take advantage of a young girl. Through it all, Mr. Thompson stood firm in his commitment to Lily as a mentor and friend. He never let the negativity affect their bond, taught her how to rise above judgmental remarks and stay true to herself. "People will always talk," he said one afternoon as they sat under the shade of an oak tree. "What matters is how we choose to live our lives." Their unique relationship blossomed over the years despite societal pressures and misunderstandings from others. They became each other's confidants. Lily would share her dreams while Mr. Thompson offered guidance on how to achieve them. Whether it was discussing school projects or exploring philosophical ideas, their conversations were rich and meaningful. As time passed, Lily learned some valuable lessons from Mr. Thompson about love, kindness, and resilience. She saw how he treated everyone with respect, regardless of their background or age. This shaped her understanding of friendships and relationships in ways she would carry throughout her life. Yet beneath this beautiful facade lay an undeniable truth. Mr. Thompson was older and had lived a full life before meeting Lily. He often spoke of the loss he had faced in his life, friends who had passed away and family members who drifted apart over time. His stories carried weight. They revealed the fragility of life and the fleeting nature of human connections. That's why when the news of his passing came unexpectedly one rainy afternoon, it sent shockwaves through Lily's heart. She remembered every moment they had shared, the laughter, the lessons, and the love they cultivated through simple interactions. Now, standing at the edge of this new reality where she had lost someone so dear, Lily felt an overwhelming mix of emotions swirling within her. Sorrow for his absence, but also gratitude for everything he had taught her. As she prepared to attend Mr. Thompson's funeral, a place where grief poured forth freely, she knew she would be met with stares and whispers yet again. But this time, it wouldn't matter. With a bittersweet smile on her face, she decided that she would honor their unique bond by showing everyone how strong she truly was inside. A reflection of everything Mr. Thompson believed she could be. Bold, creative, and unyielding in the face of adversity. Little did anyone know that what happened next at the funeral would leave everyone stunned and change perceptions forever. The day of Mr. Thompson's funeral arrived, cloaked in a somber gray sky that mirrored Lily's heavy heart. The air was thick with the scent of fresh flowers and the sound of quiet sobs as mourners gathered at the small chapel on the edge of town. Rows of chairs filled with familiar faces, friends, family, and acquaintances, created an atmosphere thick with emotion, where grief hung like a heavy blanket over everyone. Lily stood just outside the chapel, her small frame dwarfed by the towering doors. Clutching a bouquet of vivid yellow daisies, she took a deep breath, feeling both nervous and determined. She had chosen these flowers specifically because Mr. Thompson had once told her they reminded him of sunshine and happiness. Today, she wanted to bring a piece of that light into such a dark moment as she stepped inside. Heads turned in surprise, whispers rippled through the crowd like waves crashing against the shore. "What is she doing here?" some muttered, while others looked on with narrowed eyes, unsure how to react to her presence. Just 12 years old, Lily seemed out of place among the sea of adults dressed in dark suits and dresses. But she stood tall, her heart racing as she scanned the room for familiar faces. The chapel was simple yet elegant, adorned with delicate white lilies and soft candlelight flickering around the room. Mr. Thompson's casket rested at the front, surrounded by photographs that captured the essence of his life. Smiling moments from art exhibits, laughter shared over ice cream, and candid shots during their adventures together at IT was a bittersweet display that perfectly encapsulated the joy he brought to those who knew him. Lily felt a wave of sadness wash over her as she approached the casket. She could hardly believe he was gone. Memories flooded her mind, his warm laughter, the way he listened to her dreams, and how he made her feel special when no one else did. With trembling hands, she placed the daisies gently atop the casket, feeling a sense of duty to honor him in this way. As she stepped back, she noticed Mr. Thompson's family gathered nearby. Their expressions were a mix of sorrow and confusion as they tried to process their own loss while glancing at Lily with skepticism. He was clear they hadn't fully understood the bond Lily had shared with him, and their judgment weighed heavily in the air. "Why is she here?" Lily overheard one relative whisper sharply to another, their voices laced with disdain. "She shouldn't be allowed to attend." The words stung like a bee's sting, but Lily refused to let their negativity take away from what she had come to do. Taking a deep breath, she focused on the ceremony unfolding before her. Friends and family took turns sharing memories of Mr. Thompson, each story punctuated by laughter and tears. They spoke about his love for art and how he had touched so many lives with his kindness and wisdom, yet none mentioned Lily, and that hurt more than she expected. When it was finally time for people to share their thoughts and feelings, Lily felt a swell of courage rise within her that it was now or never. She wanted to speak not only for herself but to remind everyone why Mr. Thompson had been such an incredible person. With hesitant steps, she approached the podium at the front of the chapel. The murmurs quieted as people turned to look at her in surprise, unsure what this young girl would say at such an important moment. Hi, she began softly, her voice trembling but determined. "I'm Lily that I know. I'm not family or even an adult like most of you here, but Mr. Thompson meant a lot to me." Her words were met with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism from the audience. "I met him when I was feeling really lonely," she continued, finding strength in recalling their memories together. "He showed me how to paint and helped me find joy in things I never knew I loved." As she spoke, images of their time together came flooding back, their laughter, their adventures, and it fueled her confidence. "I know people might not understand our friendship," she said, looking around at the faces in front of her. "But he taught me so much about being true to myself and finding beauty in life." Tears welled up in her eyes as she felt the weight of their judgment but pushed through it. "I will always remember him as someone who believed in me when nobody else did. He was my friend." The silence that followed felt thick with emotion. Some attendees looked on with softened expressions while others exchanged glances reflecting surprise at Lily's heartfelt words. She poured everything she felt into that moment, hoping it would shine light on the genuine bond they had shared. "I will miss you, Mr. Thompson," she concluded, her voice cracking as she stepped back from the podium. "Thank you for everything." As she returned to her seat, whispers filled the room once more. this time softer, less judgmental for a fleeting moment. It seemed that Lily had broken through the barriers of misunderstanding and doubt surrounding their friendship. Little did they know how much more Lily would surprise them before this day came to an end. As Lily stood outside the chapel, she nervously fidgeted with the hem of her dress. The somber mood of the day felt heavy in the air, but her choice of outfit was anything but ordinary. While most mourners donned traditional black attire, Lily had chosen to wear a vibrant, teal dress that hugged her youthful frame perfectly. It flared out at the waist with a whimsical touch, an unexpected burst of color in a sea of dark clothing. The dress was adorned with delicate white flowers that danced across the fabric like tiny whispers of spring. Each petal seemed to capture a bit of light, giving her an ethereal glow against the backdrop of gray skies and muted colors around her. It was a bold statement, one that reflected her personality and spirit. A combination of sadness for Mr. Thompson's passing and a celebration of the joy he had brought into her life. Lily paired the dress with bright yellow ballet flats that sparkled with each step she took. These comfortable shoes allowed her to move gracefully through the crowd while standing out in a way that felt true to herself. She had always loved how colors could express emotions, and today she wanted to wear something that embodied hope and lightness, even amidst sorrow. Her hair was styled in loose waves, cascading down her shoulders like threads of sunlight. She had added a single blue ribbon, which matched the deeper hues in her dress, tying it all together with a playful yet elegant flair. As she observed the guests milling about inside, she felt both anxious and excited about how different she looked compared to the adults around her. In that moment, Lily realized her outfit wasn't just about standing out. It symbolized how she viewed life itself. Mr. Thompson had taught her to embrace creativity and individuality, encouraging her to express herself freely without fear of being judged. This funeral was a chance to honor him not only with her words but also with how she presented herself. As she made her way through the chapel doors, she noticed some guests casting sideways glances at her outfit. A few whispered among themselves with raised eyebrows and disapproving looks, unable to comprehend why a young girl would choose such bright clothing for an occasion steeped in grief. Doesn't she know this is supposed to be a somber event? One adult mumbled under their breath, shaking their heads slightly. Yet, rather than feeling embarrassed or discouraged by their stares, Lily held her head high, allowing her vibrant appearance to speak volumes about who she was and what Mr. Thompson meant to her. He had always encouraged her to find beauty and joy in everything, even in moments as difficult as this one. As the ceremony began, Lily took a seat near the front alongside Mr. Thompson's family. She could feel their lingering disapproval as they eyed her brightly colored attire. They were wrapped up in their own grief and pain, which made it difficult for them to see that Lily's choice was in homage to Mr. Thompson's optimistic spirit. When it was time for sharing memories at the podium, Lily saw those same curious eyes on her again, some filled with skepticism and others with intrigue. But no matter what they thought of her outfit, she knew it was important not just for herself but also for Mr. Thompson's memory. With each heartfelt word she spoke, Lily's dress became more than just an article of clothing. It transformed into a powerful symbol of resilience and individuality amidst the heaviness surrounding his loss. It spoke of hope for brighter days ahead and reminded everyone present that life should still be celebrated even in death. After delivering her tribute to Mr. Thompson, as she returned to her seat with emotions swirling inside her, Lily noticed something uplifting. The way some attendees looked at her differently now. The whispers had subsided, replaced by expressions of admiration rather than judgment. Perhaps they were beginning to understand that grief did not have to manifest solely as darkness. It could also allow space for joy and love through cherished memories. Seeing smiles from nearby guests gave Lily renewed strength. She felt proud wearing something so uniquely hers on such an important day. In that moment, she realized that Mr. Thompson would have loved how she chose to express herself. He would have appreciated this colorful reminder of his influence on her life. As the service continued with laughter punctuating tears during shared stories about Mr. Thompson's legacy, his kindness toward others and love for art. Lily knew that wearing this vibrant outfit was right where she needed to be, honoring him as he had honored her through their bond. And little did anyone know how much more Lily was prepared to reveal about herself before this day concluded. As Lily sat quietly after delivering her tribute to Mr. Thompson, memories began to wash over her like a warm breeze, taking her back to the very first day they met. It was a sunny afternoon at the local park, where the vibrant colors of spring painted the world in bright hues. Lily had been sitting alone on a swing, pushing herself back and forth, feeling a little lost in her thoughts. That's when Mr. Thompson had strolled by, a friendly smile spreading across his face as he noticed her sitting. There, he was reading a book, and it looked like he'd just come from an art gallery, judging by the colorful tote bags slung over his shoulder. The moment their eyes met, something about him felt safe and welcoming. "Hello there. Mind if I join you?" he asked, and Lily could only nod in response. She was shy but intrigued by this older man who seemed genuinely interested in what she was doing. They began talking, at first about the book he was reading, then about art and school. Lily found herself opening up to him in ways she had never done before with anyone else. She shared her dreams of becoming an artist and how she often felt different from other kids her age as they talked. She realized that he understood her in ways no one else did. "What's your name?" he asked gently, leaning forward with interest. "I'm Lily," she replied softly. "Well, Lily," he said with a twinkle in his eye, "I think you're going to do amazing things someday." Those words stuck with her long after that day. From that moment on, their friendship blossomed into something truly special. They began meeting regularly at the park and later ventured out to art galleries and museums around town. Mr. Thompson introduced Lily to new worlds, teaching her about famous artists while encouraging her own creativity. He bought her paints and canvases, nurturing her passion for art with unwavering support. One afternoon stands out vividly in Lily's mind. They had gone on an adventure to an art festival downtown. The streets were alive with color as artists displayed their work and musicians played cheerful tunes. Mr. Thompson had handed Lily some money and told her to pick out whatever caught her eye. With wide eyes filled with excitement, she wandered through the stalls until she found a beautiful canvas painted with swirling colors of blue and gold, a depiction of the ocean under a sunset sky. "This one," she exclaimed, holding it up proudly as if it were a treasure. Mr. Thompson smiled warmly at her choice and purchased it without hesitation. "Art is meant to inspire joy," he said, "and I can see how much this means to you." That day solidified their bond in Lily's heart. It was not just about sharing art but also about making memories together that would last a lifetime. As their friendship deepened, they faced challenges together too, especially when others began to notice their unconventional relationship. Some people whispered behind closed doors or shot them judgmental glances when they were out together. After all, an adult man spending time with a young girl raised eyebrows in their small town. But Mr. Thompson always reminded Lily that true friendship transcends age or societal norms. What mattered most was the genuine connection they shared, a bond built on respect, trust, and understanding. "I believe in you," he often told her during those tough moments when self-doubt crept into her mind. "Never let anyone dull your sparkle." Lily cherished those words deeply. They became a guiding light for her as she navigated through life's ups and downs. Mr. Thompson helped cultivate not just her artistic abilities, but also taught her invaluable life lessons about kindness, resilience, and standing firm against criticism. There were countless afternoons spent creating art together at his home studio, his walls lined with masterpieces from his travels around the world. And each session brought new discoveries for both of them. One day, while painting side by side beneath sunlight streaming through large windows, he encouraged her to paint something truly personal that reflected who she was inside. With paintbrushes in hand and laughter filling the room, they created vibrant pieces filled with abstract shapes representing joy amid struggles. Each stroke became part of their shared journey. It wasn't just art that drew them together. It was honest conversations late into the evenings where they would talk about dreams for the future or share stories from their pasts, building trust that made even uncomfortable topics feel safe. Now sitting at the funeral surrounded by mourners dressed in dark colors, Lily felt grateful for every moment spent with Mr. Thompson. The laughter shared over silly jokes and meaningful discussions that challenged her perspectives on life itself. She realized how unconventional their relationship might seem to outsiders, but knew deep down it was one of purest forms of love, a relationship defined by mutual growth rather than societal expectations or labels. As people began sharing more stories during the service about Mr. Thompson's impact on their lives as well, the kindness he showed toward everyone regardless of age or background. It reaffirmed what she already knew. He had changed lives through love and creativity, and he had forever changed hers as well. Lily smiled softly through tears as memories flooded back. Those cherished moments served as powerful reminders of how meaningful their connection truly was, and just how much more there remained to reveal about herself before this day came to an end. As the service continued, the tension in the chapel grew palpable, filling the air with an undercurrent of whispers. Lily could feel the eyes of the attendees boring into her, some filled with skepticism and others with barely concealed disdain. It was unsettling, and she wondered if her presence was truly unwelcome. Mr. Thompson's family members stood huddled together at the front, their expressions a mix of grief and confusion as they occasionally glanced in her direction. She caught snippets of their conversations, murmurs about inappropriate relationships and not fitting in. Each word felt like a dagger piercing her heart, but Lily remained resolute in honoring Mr. Thompson's memory. Suddenly, one of Mr. Thompson's relatives, a woman in her 40s with sharp features and a disapproving scowl, broke away from the group and marched toward Lily. With every step she took, Lily's heart began to race. She could sense that something confrontational was brewing. "Excuse me," the woman said icily as she approached, her voice cut through the somber atmosphere, drawing the attention of several nearby mourners who paused to watch what was unfolding. Lily's throat tightened as she tried to maintain eye contact, feeling small yet determined. "Yes?" she replied softly but firmly. "What are you doing here?" The harshness in the woman's tone made it clear that she believed Lily had no place at this funeral. "You're just a child. This is not a place for someone like you." The words stung brutally, echoing in Lily's mind as they spoke of exclusion and judgment. She could see others nodding along with this relative sentiment while others looked on with surprise, unsure how to react to such an open confrontation. "I'm here to honor Mr. Thompson," Lily said steadily despite the tremor in her voice. "He meant a lot to me." The woman crossed her arms defiantly, shaking her head as if Lily's words were nothing but meaningless platitudes. "You don't understand what he meant to our family?" she retorted sharply. "You don't get to come here and pretend you had any real relationship with him." Lily felt her cheeks flush with humiliation but pushed back against the tide of fear swirling inside her. Mr. Thompson had always encouraged her to stand up for herself and share her truth without hesitation. "I do understand," she exclaimed passionately. "Mr. Thompson taught me about art and life. He believed in me when no one else did. Just because I'm young doesn't mean my feelings aren't valid." A few gasps echoed among those nearby. Lily's words resonated through the chapel like a challenge thrown into the air, the kind that demanded attention and respect. "Is that so?" The woman raised an eyebrow skeptically but now seemed taken aback by Lily's confidence rather than merely dismissive of it. "Yes," Lily continued, feeling emboldened by each word that flowed from within her heart. "He showed me how beautiful life can be. Just because you don't understand our friendship doesn't mean it wasn't real." At this point, other guests began shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Some leaned forward with interest while others whispered among themselves. An unexpected shift from judgment to curiosity sparked by this young girl standing firmly against an adult's disapproval. Realizing she had captured their attention, Lily pressed on. "Mr. Thompson would want us all to remember him for his kindness and creativity, not judge who he spent time with or how we chose to connect." The woman opened her mouth as if ready to respond but paused instead, an uncertain expression crossing her face as though reconsidering her stance amid this unexpected outburst. Before anyone could interject further, another voice emerged from behind them. A man who appeared to be Mr. Thompson's brother stepped forward. His solemn demeanor softened as he addressed both women directly. "Let's not forget that love comes in many forms," he said firmly but gently. "What matters is how he touched people's lives. His impact transcended age or societal expectations." His words seemed to diffuse some tension in the room, allowing space for reflection on what truly mattered. Mr. Thompson's legacy. Lily felt relief wash over her at his intervention. It reassured her that perhaps there were still allies among this crowd, even those related by blood who understood more than just family ties. With renewed strength coursing through her veins, she turned back towards Mr. Thompson's family member who first confronted her and softened her voice slightly. "I loved him deeply, and I will carry his lessons forward no matter what anyone else thinks." The woman regarded Lily long and hard before finally stepping back slightly. a flicker of respect now evident behind her initial disdainful gaze as silence enveloped them once more. In that moment, it became clear that while judgment could loom heavy over relationships like dark clouds blocking sunlight, bravery could shine even brighter when shared openly with those willing to listen. As tension lingered momentarily longer throughout the chapel before shifting focus back toward remembering Mr. Thompson fondly. The stories shared began painting a picture far more vivid than simply one marked by misunderstandings or prejudice. It was about love unconfined by societal expectations, and that was exactly how Lily planned on honoring his memory today. As the service continued, the atmosphere in the chapel began to shift. After Lily's confrontation with Mr. Thompson's relative, there was a newfound respect among the attendees, an acknowledgement of her bravery. Yet, deep down, she knew she had to share more of her truth, more of what Mr. Thompson had meant to her. Taking a deep breath, Lily rose from her seat again. The murmurs quieted as all eyes turned toward her once more. She stepped up to the podium, heart racing yet determined to honor the man who had changed her life forever. Hi again, she began softly, her voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside her. I'm Lily. Her gaze swept across the room, locking eyes with several familiar faces, some filled with skepticism and others with warmth. I wanted to share just a few more things about Mr. Thompson. Lily could feel the weight of their attention, and for a moment, she hesitated. But then she remembered Mr. Thompson's encouraging words. Always be true to yourself. With that thought bolstering her confidence, she pressed on. Mr. Thompson was not just my friend. He was my mentor and my biggest supporter, she continued, drawing strength from cherished memories that flowed through her mind like colors on a canvas. He taught me about art and how to express myself in ways I never thought possible. She took a deep breath and recalled one particular afternoon spent at his home studio, a day filled with vibrant paints and laughter. There was this one time when I felt really sad because I thought no one understood me, she shared, remembering how Mr. Thompson had taken her under his wing that day. He sat me down and handed me a brush, she said with a smile breaking through her initial solemnity. He told me to paint whatever I felt inside without worrying about what it looked like. The memory brought warmth to her heart as she described how he had encouraged her to unleash her emotions onto the canvas. I created something wild and colorful, swirls of paint that reflected both joy and sadness. Lily continued, her voice gaining momentum with each word. He said it was incredible, not because it was perfect but because it was true to me. A few attendees began nodding along, clearly moved by her sincerity. Lily paused for a moment, looking out at the crowd as she gathered her thoughts. Mr. Thompson showed me that art isn't just about technique. It's about sharing your soul with others. There was something profound in those words that resonated through the chapel. Perhaps even those who had doubted their bond could see how deeply he had influenced all aspects of her life. He believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, she admitted openly now. Every time I felt lost or inadequate, he would remind me how special I truly was, and that I should never let anyone else tell me otherwise. Tears brimmed in Lily's eyes as emotions flooded over her. Sorrow mingled with gratitude for having shared such moments with someone who genuinely cared. She knew everyone looking at her needed this reminder, the power of kindness permeating even through grief. Mr. Thompson wasn't just unique in his love for art, he loved people too, she stated firmly, recalling how he would often take time to listen to strangers' stories during their outings. Showing inspiration could spark from anywhere if one simply took the time to connect. She continued speaking into the silence wrapped around them. His laughter could brighten any room, and his gentle spirit made everyone feel welcomed. He taught me that love has no boundaries or expectations, that it can exist in many forms. As additional memories poured forth unbidden, adventures exploring art festivals or simply enjoying ice cream together, Lily's heart swelled with both affection and longing for their days spent together. And when we went to that art festival last summer, she started again, smiling more brightly now as laughter seeped into even this sobering moment while recounting funny stories they'd shared. He bought me this ridiculous hat covered in rainbow colors, just because I said it made me happy. A mixture of chuckles rippled through the audience. Some wiped their tears away as fond memories of Mr. Thompson filled every corner of their minds too. The joy he brought into lives stretching beyond just hers. I stand here today not because I belong in this family, but because he made room for love beyond traditional bonds. Lily concluded earnestly while wiping stubborn tears away with a small handkerchief from her pocket. I will carry his lessons forward always. They are part of who I am now. With each heartfelt sentiment shared during this powerful moment beneath those soaring chapel ceilings, Lily rekindled fond thoughts of Mr. Thompson within everyone present. All reminding them why they loved him so dearly in return, she stepped back from the podium amid scattered claps, mixed with solemn nods of understanding from other attendees like waves crashing onto shorelines. The reverberations of her words hung heavily yet beautifully around them, weaving together lost truths regained, amid sorrowful farewells bound by lasting love. This day would not only mark an end, it would resonate through hearts long after goodbye, as those gathered rejoiced not only in mourning, but also celebrated an extraordinary life, illuminating smiles behind clouds hanging overhead. As the applause died down and the supportive murmurs filled the room, Lily felt a wave of warmth wash over her. She had shared her heart with those gathered, and it seemed they were beginning to see the beauty of her relationship with Mr. Thompson. But she knew there was more to convey, a secret that had been tucked away in her heart, one that might change how everyone perceived not only her but also the special bond they had shared. Taking a deep breath, she gathered her thoughts and stepped forward again to the podium. There's something else I need to share with you all, she said, her voice steady yet soft. The room fell silent as curiosity gripped the attendees. Mr. Thompson had given Lily a small, intricately carved wooden box a few months before he passed away. He told her it was a treasure box where she could keep her dreams and aspirations safe. At the time, it felt like just a charming gesture, the kind of thing an artist would do. But as weeks went by and their friendship deepened, she began to understand its significance. I want to show you what he gave me, Lily continued, her heart racing with anticipation and vulnerability as she reached into her bag and retrieved the small box. It was decorated with vibrant colors reminiscent of their artwork together, and she placed it gently on the podium for everyone to see. Inside this box are not just my dreams, she said, opening it slowly. There are notes from Mr. Thompson, little messages he wrote for me whenever he believed I needed encouragement. She began pulling out crumpled pieces of paper, each one filled with his familiar handwriting. With trembling hands, she held up the first note. You are a light in this world, Lily. Never let anyone dim your sparkle. The words echoed through the room, causing heads to nod in agreement, at least partially vindicating Lily's presence among them. And here's another, she continued, unfolding a different note. Art is your gift. Share it freely, for it can change lives. With each note she read aloud. An air of wonder enveloped those listening. They were discovering layers of Mr. Thompson that had been hidden from view. The kind heart that inspired not only Lily but also encompassed everyone around him. One final note caught her eye, and she felt tears welling up as she recognized its importance. Lily, it read, there are no rules when it comes to love. Be bold in expressing how you feel. Every connection matters. The gentle wisdom within his words swept through the crowd like a gust of wind rustling leaves on a sunny day. As she finished reading the last note, silence enveloped the room once more. But this time, it was different. Attendees exchanged glances filled with surprise and reflection. There was a newfound understanding forming within them about Mr. Thompson's depth and his remarkable ability to uplift those around him. Lily wasn't just an innocent girl. She had been a partner in creativity and a source of inspiration for Mr. Thompson just as much as he had been for her. Their unique relationship bore witness to how love can transcend ordinary bonds. It flourished through encouragement and heartfelt connection. With resolve anchoring her spirit even further, Lily looked out into the crowd, feeling empowered by the truth they had just uncovered together. Mr. Thompson and I might have looked like an unconventional pair, she said, but our hearts were always aligned. As a wave of emotion surged through her chest once more, she concluded, these notes are not just words. They encapsulate everything he stood for, encouragement and love without barriers or judgments. The audience was transformed. Some attendees displayed tears streaming down their cheeks while others looked reflective as they processed what they'd heard and seen unfold before them in surprising layers of meaning. As the service transitioned back into warmth, memories shared about Mr. Thompson's life. Stories reflecting how he touched lives near and far. Lily felt a warmth spread throughout her body, finally accepted in this sacred space where love reigned over judgment. This unexpected twist, brought about by her revelation, turned both their relationship and Mr. Thompson's legacy into something deeper and richer. An understanding that would forever change hearts long after they left this solemn gathering. Every clapping hand resonated with unity. They shared a collective appreciation not only for what had been lost but for the beautiful influence Mr. Thompson left behind. A legacy of authenticity where love fostered creativity and kindness for those seeking truth amid societal constraints. Lily stepped back from the podium, her heart swollen with pride, and amidst applause mixed with cherished nods from family members who now saw her light shine just as vividly as his own. The shadows cast by grief faded slowly yet entirely within beams of radiance illuminating their shared truth forevermore. As the applause finally settled and the solemnity of the event lingered in the air, Lily felt a sense of clarity wash over her. She stood still at the podium, absorbing not just the support she had received but also the lessons she had gleaned throughout this entire experience. The vulnerability she had shown in sharing her memories and the hidden messages from Mr. Thompson fortified her resolve. She realized that this was not just about grieving his loss, but also about celebrating the profound impact he had on her growth. Lily looked around the chapel filled with familiar faces, some teary-eyed, others nodding with understanding. For the first time since Mr. Thompson had passed, she didn't feel like a mere child clinging to an unusual friendship. She felt empowered. She remembered all the times Mr. Thompson had urged her to embrace her strengths and stay true to herself, often reminding her, "True art comes from who you are inside." Standing there, she internalized that important lesson more than ever. The love and confidence Mr. Thompson had instilled in her now infused her thoughts. She could choose how to navigate her life moving forward. In that moment, flashbacks danced in her mind. Time spent painting together in his studio with laughter echoing off the walls. Conversations about life and their dreams that transcended age differences. Moments when he had told her that distinction between childhood innocence and adult experiences shouldn't dictate one's capacity for understanding love or art. This brief funeral service had already shifted the way she viewed herself and her potential for independence. Though Lily was still reeling from grief, something brighter sparked within her. A new sense of direction illuminated by Mr. Thompson's teachings. She understood now that she had the tools to carve her own path through life, guided by inspiration rather than constraints placed by society or familial expectations. With each lesson shared among the attendees, she recognized how much these stories echoed the echoes of her shared experiences with Mr. Thompson. They highlighted his remarkable ability to uplift others without fear or favor, and they illuminated a truth she desired to embody: that love has no bounds. Lily stepped away from the podium and took a seat, letting the warmth from her earlier words wash over her like sunlight breaking through clouds. A new chapter loomed ahead of her. One that would be colored by both joy and sadness yet filled with possibility. As the flowered dress she wore danced gently around her legs, it struck her that this choice wasn't just about standing out. It was emblematic of who she was becoming. A young girl willing to embrace what made her unique, despite societal judgment. Each petal reflected Mr. Thompson's profound influence on her journey towards self-discovery and independence. Around the chapel, conversations flourished as people shared stories of their encounters with Mr. Thompson, each tale presenting different pieces of the larger puzzle that defined him as a person. From his tireless dedication to mentoring young artists to spontaneous acts of kindness for strangers, it became clear how deeply he had impacted so many lives. Lily closed her eyes briefly, still processing how this moment at the funeral was transforming every ounce of pain she felt into something more powerful. A stepping stone leading her forward into an authentic life. She envisioned herself pursuing painting with renewed passion and maybe even organizing art classes for underprivileged children or helping others find their creative voices. She'd learned from Mr. Thompson that sharing art could create connections across generations and backgrounds. A merging of souls through color and form. The dawn of new possibilities sprouted within her. She would carry his legacy forward not only through painting but by living life fully and compassionately in this funeral's aftermath. As voices softly echoed gratitude toward Mr. Thompson's impact on their lives, Lily recognized one clear truth. Love flourishes best when shared openly without limitation. Today had become an affirmation of a bond steady enough to withstand societal constraints. looking down at the wooden treasure box resting in her lap. A symbol of enduring friendship and undeniable influence, Lily understood it represented more than dreams written on paper. It encapsulated strength derived from unconditional love and encouragement. She took a deep breath filled with newfound resilience, knowing she'd transition into a world where Mr. Thompson's words resided close to her heart, guiding each brushstroke of creativity she crafted. "I'm ready," Lily whispered softly to herself. Amidst the joy mingling with sorrow reframing what loss looked like, she saw a brighter future reflected before her, one colored with compassion, creativity, and independence that only someone like Mr. Thompson could inspire within a young girl longing to embrace her light. With that realization solidifying within her spirit, she looked forward with vigor, knowing the journey ahead was filled with infinite potential waiting for her to explore. As the gathering began to wind down, Lily felt a rush of confidence budding within her, nurtured by the connections she had forged in this moment of shared grief and celebration. Every face she saw held a mixture of admiration and curiosity, and she could sense an unspoken bond forming with the attendees who had come to appreciate Mr. Thompson's impact on their lives as well. Still clutching the treasure box, she glanced around the chapel filled with floral arrangements and soft lighting. It all felt surreal. Her heart beat steadily with hope for the future. A future she now realized was wide open before her. Inspired by Mr. Thompson's enduring influence, she knew it was time for her to make a bold decision, one that would help carry forth his legacy while embracing her own path. "Everyone," she said, her voice lifting ever so slightly above the hushed conversations. "Before we leave today, I'd like to share something important I've been thinking about." Her words pulled attention back towards her. There was a palpable curiosity that filled the room as attendees leaned in, eager to hear what she had to say. "I know today is about saying goodbye," she continued, feeling her courage swell inside like a warm flame. "But I also believe it's a time for new beginnings. Mr. Thompson taught me so much about authenticity, love, and creativity. I've come to realize that I want to honor him in a way that reflects our special bond." An expectant silence fell over the chapel as Lily took a steadying breath. "I've always dreamed of being an artist and helping others express themselves, just like he helped me. So, I've decided to start an art program for kids in our community." A collective gasp echoed softly among the crowd, each attendee processing her bold idea. Lily's heart raced with excitement for the path ahead, the ability to share art and kindness, spreading joy much like Mr. Thompson had done for her. "I want to create a safe space where children from all backgrounds can explore their creativity without judgment," she explained passionately. "A place where they can learn to embrace their uniqueness, just as Mr. Thompson taught me." Throughout the room, nods of approval appeared, eyes widening with understanding as people began to grasp the significance of her initiative. "I know I'm young," Lily continued, her voice unwavering yet warm with sincerity. "But with guidance from adults who care and support from those who believe in art's potential to change lives, we can build something amazing together." The determination blooming within her was contagious, and even those who had initially doubted her now looked impressed by her poise and clarity of vision. Taking another deep breath, Lily added, "I want to call it Artists Unite. I have already started sketching plans for different classes and workshops where we can invite guest artists from diverse backgrounds, people who reflect Mr. Thompson's values of creativity and kindness." She paused to let that sink in, feeling every heartbeat echoing with new possibilities. To kick off this project, she continued with enthusiasm sparkling in her eyes, "I will be hosting an art show next month, inviting everyone in our community to come together and showcase pieces created by young artists. The funds raised will support our program, allowing us to provide supplies and materials for kids who wouldn't otherwise have access." Lily searched the crowd. People began exchanging whispers of excitement while others smiled warmly at her vision, now seeing not just a young girl standing before them but a powerful force ready to make a difference. "I hope you all consider joining me on this journey," she concluded, determination dancing through each syllable as she spoke. "Let's create a place filled with beauty and inspiration, one that will uplift new friendships grounded in love for art and understanding." As she stepped away from the podium again, attendees erupted into applause, a sound that filled the room like music reverberating through rushing rivers. This was more than support. It was a recognition of Lily's courage in taking ownership of her future. A powerful testament to Mr. Thompson's impact resonating deeply within her. This bold plan became a bridge between farewell and welcoming what lay ahead, uniting attendees who would become supporters in helping build a legacy that honored both her dreams and Mr. Thompson's extraordinary spirit. Amidst the clapping hands and glistening eyes reflected lights of hope shared by many gathered there. Lily stepped back into life's embrace filled with art supplies, unbounded creativity, ready to paint bold strokes across life's blank canvas in every shade imaginable. Excited whispers danced through the chapel as plans began swirling around how they could all contribute. Each attendee eager to help cultivate this vision together forged out of grief turned joy. Now standing tall within this moment both bittersweet and beautiful, Lily couldn't help but glance down at the treasure box resting in her hands. It encapsulated not only cherished memories but now paved pathways leading toward limitless possibilities where opportunity met courage fueled by unconditional love. She looked ahead with sparkling eyes. This was just the beginning, and leaving the chapel today held an invitation opened wide. Join me on this journey toward discovery waiting just beyond tomorrow. As Lily stepped outside the chapel, she felt the gentle warmth of the afternoon sun on her face. A stark contrast to the somber atmosphere she had just left behind. The air was filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant laughter, creating an inviting canvas of life that seemed to echo with the promise of new beginnings. Clutching her treasure box tightly, she glanced back at the gathering still inside, now sharing stories and laughter in Mr. Thompson's memory. Each smile and heartfelt nod of understanding she witnessed reassured her that today wasn't solely about farewell. It was also a celebration of hope and legacy. With a newfound clarity bubbling within her, Lily walked down the steps and into a world that suddenly felt full of potential. Her heart raced as she thought of Artists Unite, the program she had envisioned blossoming into something extraordinary. She could already picture vibrant artwork lining the walls, children's hands dabbing paint on canvases, and the room filled with laughter, creating joy as freely as Mr. Thompson had done throughout his life. Her mind raced with ideas. Workshops that embraced all forms of art, painting, sculpture, even digital design. She would invite local artists to mentor these budding talents just as Mr. Thompson had done for her, offering encouragement and guidance to help them find their unique voices. The possibilities stretched infinitely before her like a canvas waiting to be painted. Thinking back to some of Mr. Thompson's favorite quotes made her smile. Art gives life, meaning, he had said many times with thoughtful eyes shining loud and clear in her memory. This idea was now rooted firmly inside her heart, a sense of purpose blossoming like flowers breaking through freshly fallen snow as she continued walking. A light breeze tugged at the hem of her teal dress, almost as if nudging her forward into this exhilarating new chapter waiting for her. Every step felt bound by excitement while liberated from past fears or doubts overshadowed by grief just moments. Earlier did I end that moment of reflection, Lily recognized how much she had grown since meeting Mr. Thompson. It was as if he had planted seeds in her heart that were now blossoming into vibrant hopes for a bright future filled with creativity and compassion for others. She paused under an oak tree lining the path outside the chapel, letting its boughs sway overhead like gentle arms cradling her thoughts together in safety. Taking a deep breath meant for grounding herself in this tranquility helped reignite determination within as well. With resolve sharpening within her being, Lily made a silent promise to herself to commit fully to this endeavor not just out of love for Mr. Thompson but also for all those children who might feel lost or alone in similar ways she once did. Kids who could benefit from finding community among fellow artists aspiring to transform dreams into reality through creativity. As visions danced in front of her eyes, the art program flourishing amid artistic exploration. She smiled brightly thinking about how she would seek help from supportive adults lining up behind eager young artists, ready to share colorful stories too from each brushstroke painting their own adventures together. The sun hung low on the horizon now. Its golden light warmed her skin while time slipped away quietly around the sacred space where lives intertwined momentarily yet created lasting connections too strong for ordinary farewells. Feeling anchored by purpose wrapped lovingly around her heart. Each episode shared during this outing would lead toward serendipitous encounters yet experienced ahead. a myriad tapestry woven upon creative foundations laid calmly beneath sprawling, limitless skies rich with colors reflecting every emotion deservedly expressed artistically without limits or boundaries. Lily took one last glance at the entryway to the chapel where friendships forged from grief-renewed blossoms awaiting exploration wholeheartedly. Abundant joy laid simply at their doorstep balanced along shared journeys taken hand in hand toward places unknown yet boldly anticipated ahead bursting loudly toward stellar horizons alive forever glowing fiercely beyond imagination's embrace. With every fiber igniting within yearning visibly pronounced through sparkling eyes filled vivid anticipation. Students aspiring artistically echoed arching embraces beckoned forth and vibrantly surged onward in living colors designed freely amidst brushstrokes awaiting captivating tales. Whispered underneath starry skies ahead filled brightly alive brimming past traditional norms where creativity met genuine companionship through paintbrush strokes untamed spreading possibility birthed anew bearing radiant light at journey's core. To laugh again until hearts soared towards uncharted realms. "I'm ready?" Lily whispered again softly as footsteps moved forward guiding energetic instinct spiraled onward toward magnificent discoveries traversing roads infinite leading vivaciously beyond tomorrow. And here began everything new.